Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Full Press Hockey Weekly Show. We are back. You know it's for life every day. Get it at Full Press NHL on Twitter, Full Press Coverage Facebook, Full Press Hockey on Facebook, Full Press Coverage YouTube. Get it iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. I'm your host, Jim Behringer, the voice of Full Press Hockey. Rocking and rolling NWO for life. Hey, yo, with Chris Wassel, Ian Glennon behind the scenes. Gentlemen, rapid fire tonight. We're going to touch them all. Yes, it's a baseball reference. No, this isn't a baseball show. And yes, Devils for life.
16, baby. That's the number of the night. 16.
16 dubs, baby. 16 dubs. And Braden, that's right. Hey, yo, Scott Hall, baby. Survey says the center of the hockey universe revolves around the Toronto Maple Leafs. There's debate in Montreal about that. However, it's been all Leafs all the time. Austin Matthews, new 4-year extension, $13.25 million AAV. Sheldon Keefe, 2 more years. And, of course, Willie Nylander. I think we start off the top. Austin Matthews, take it away.
Man, can you believe it's like we almost kind of predicted this back early in the summer?
Yes, we did.
We got one. We
got one.
Now,
we usually get more than one, though.
Now we get like 8/10 credit here. We can't take full credit because we offered ourselves some wiggle room. We said 4 or 5 years.
But we also said he was going to be the highest paid player in the NHL.
Yeah. Look, the bottom line is this is kind of what was always going to happen. This sets up Matthews, obviously, for one more big score. Sorry for those looking for the obligatory crime, robbery cliche, but hey, we had to throw it in. And best of all, Toronto, look, let's be honest. Salary cap is going to go up sometime soon.
You would think. You
would think based on this contract that nobody wants to say, hey, they know something, but
look,
you gotta think that they know something.
I mean, look, the salary cap, that's a touchy subject because some people I talk to say, hey, believe it when you see it. Because last year the NHL talked about Gary Bettman, you heard him say it before the season, hey, it could go up a couple of million. Only it goes up $1 million. People were expecting 4 or 5. Didn't happen. I think now with the escrow and all that stuff being paid off, I think we'll be okay.
That's the hope. That is the hope. I mean, you can never say never with the trials of the salary cap, but fingers crossed.
Everything crossed, right? Everything crossed.
At this point.
Everything's got to cross.
So look, now the obvious with Toronto is this. So if you're Austin Matthews, you kind of can't disappear in the playoffs anymore.
Nope, can't do that. Look, I'm not saying he's disappeared in the playoffs. He's had great first rounds.
Yeah, I mean, look at this.
But the whole team just went away this year in the second round. Like, there's no sugarcoating that. Maybe William Nylander's the only guy that didn't go away in that putrid second round.
That was rough.
But, I mean,
that second line, Jim, was brutal. I mean, there's
brutal.
You can't
brutal. Look, Matthews put the Leafs on his shoulder in Game 4. We've seen he can do it. Like, we know he can do it. But again, with money comes expectations. He's one of the top 3 players in the world right now. He's getting paid like one of the top 3 players in the world right now. He's got all these individual trophies, which are great. He's probably the greatest Leaf, the biggest superstar in Leafs history. Going to be, if not already. He's getting treated like other guys. And he's above that core 4. Like, let's be honest, he's being treated differently.
As he should.
As he should be. He's taking a different approach to a contract, which
I kind of like it.
I like it because he set himself up for 3 big paydays.
Yeah.
At entry level, out of this one more at 30. He could go 6, he could go 8 years, depends on how long he wants to play and where. But
Yeah.
it me, two things. It's good from the player side, it's good from the team side because in 4 years, what is this direction of this team? We don't know. And what if he did sign an 8-year deal? Now you're going to try to unload this thing. Is anybody going to want it? Like, does he want to stick around for a rebuild? And that's going to be the issue. In 4 years, we'll see. And don't forget, he's got 5 years, year left on his current deal, and 4 at the new deal. So
Right.
a lot can happen over that time period. Money's going to come off. Guys are going to get signed. Maybe they will. Maybe they'll have a new head coach. Who knows? We know Sheldon Keefe's going to be there at least 3 more seasons. At minimum. At minimum.
And remember, this is
Whatever.
another one of those classic salary cap deals with the signing bonus carrying the day as far as the contract.
Is it? And now we saw this a lot before the one lockout. It's like, oh, it was lockout protection with all the signing bonuses. I think this is just a way to get around the cap too, and just get all your money up front.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, if you look at any of the deals now, so all right, I love looking at this just from the strict number standpoint, which means, oh God, help us, what did he do now? But I mean,
Right.
you're looking at numbers that you just go, all right, I don't care about the no move clause crapola.
Because he's not going anywhere.
Because he's not going anywhere anyway. So you look at it this way. All right, here you go. His base salary for the first 2 years, just real fast, is basically league minimum.
Yeah, because it's all paid out in salary. It's all paid out in signing bonuses.
The year 1 signing bonus, $15.925 million. Year 2, $14.425 million.
And it's all up front on July 1st, right? Like, he gets paid July 1st, all of it.
All of it.
Bobby Bonilla Day. Hey.
It is the perpetual holiday that
it is
Mets,
the perpetual
Mets fans
holiday
hate to look at.
That keeps on giving for everybody. Everybody gets paid on Bobby Bonilla Day. That's it. That's how it's done. But think about it. All right, so Leafs, they get him signed. Look, good deal for everybody. We know what this cat's going to do. Guy's stylish. Guy knows what he's doing. If the NHL was smart, they market around him, Nylander, all those guys. But that's a different topic for a different day. He was a priority. Brad Treliving knew it. You knew the deal was going to get done. It wasn't going to matter if, it was when. And it was going to come down to Matthews, as he said. The next guy, look, we know Nylander's not on the priority list right now because the Leafs have to, A, get under the cap, B, they got to worry about a coach, like all this other stuff. I like the fact that they're going to take a wait-and-see approach with William Nylander because, as Nylander even said, he's like, look, I got a year left on my deal. Like, what's the big deal here? Like, I want to go play hockey. I want to help this team win. I'm letting you know I want to stay in Toronto. We know what we think he wants is just $10 million. That's the number that's been thrown around.
But what if it's not 10? What if it's a little less?
What if it is a little less? Then he stays. But either way, the Leafs now have a year to see, okay, are you really worth that? We know what he does in the playoffs. He's the only guy that shows up. Realistically.
Yeah. For those that are wondering, I mean, last year, for example, what was the only thing that showed up special teams wise for Toronto in the playoffs? It's William Nylander, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a good approach on both sides. We know what happened last time. Nylander held out, which was every right for him when he was an RFA. He could do all that stuff, right? Signed in December 2018, gets his deal, get a ton of money up front. But as that contract it aged really well for a guy who's scoring goals and hitting the point numbers. It really did. It really did in a stagnant cap world where the pandemic. Again, remember, when all this stuff was done, nobody foresaw what happened in 2020. Like, let's be honest. We all thought the cap was going to be way higher and, like, everything was going to be fine.
Yeah. Let's put it this way. If everything goes as it should have, the cap is over 90 million right now.
It's getting close to 100.
Right. But
it didn't. We had a pandemic, economic circumstances. The players are going to finally pay back all that escrow, and we expect the cap to go up. Nylander's going to do what he's going to do. Now, if he wants to really stay there and he takes less money, great, because then he maybe takes 9.5 million. He does, maybe he gets 10, maybe, who knows. But, again, go listen to the podcast I've had with David Alter, Ken Campbell, all these guys. I know some people, whatever, but, may have differing opinions with Ken Campbell and other people, but it is the right move with William Nylander. It is. I mean, you think about it. Yes, it's a gamble, but Chris, you and I and a lot of hockey fans out there grew up in an age where free agents went to July 1st. They either signed or they didn't. Only in recent time has it been, oh, well, guy's in his last year of his contract. We have to figure out a way to sign him or move him.
Yeah, look, the salary cap is a different era for everybody, including us.
Right.
Any young and going a little bit further, any younger reporter, think about what all they've basically known is the salary cap era.
But even early on in the salary cap, we saw guys hit free agency. And
absolutely.
There wasn't this thing about, oh, well, the guy's in the final year of his deal. We either have to sign him or move him. It's only been in recent history where guys are starting to use that power as an RFA.
Yeah. Yeah, they're being smart about this. I mean, look, this is the whole point of the collective bargaining process. That's why they have such
a big thing with the collective bargaining agreement is that, yes, we all understand Connor McDavid is the best player in the world. We all would love to be, oh, well, no one could get paid more than Connor McDavid. Reality is the PA wouldn't like that. They want to see incremental growth in player salaries. Yep. So face facts. Matthews is the highest paid player until McDavid is, again, it's all going to go up. It's like the NFL. Ian will love this reference. The guy that's the highest paid quarterback this year until he's not. Like every year, somebody new is the highest paid quarterback. Like that's what's going to happen. So Matthews is the highest paid player in the league starting next year until somebody passes him, and you know who it's going to be. And maybe two guys pass him, and then he passes those guys. But to me, I think Nylander, we'll see. I mean, does he go the Matthews route? Does he go 8 years? I'm really curious to see if players start to follow the Matthews route, knowing what we know about the salary cap coming up.
Now, we know this, and again, I've talked to a few people, around, and they said even the younger guys that have been going at around 2021, Jim, and going the 7-8 year route, are kind of thinking for their next deal that they're probably going like this 3, maybe 4 year route.
This mid-range deal.
The mid-range deal, and the reason for this is, all right, let's put this in. Jack Hughes signed early 20s, signs for 8 years. Still not even 30 yet at the end of his contract.
No, he'll hit it again. He'll get, he'll still be underpaid by the time in his next contract.
And here's the thing: he'll sign for probably like 3 years, and then at 32, 33, he's going to hit another payday. This is the era for which we are entering in now. The salary cap sort of has like these different chapters to it and different wrinkles, and this is what we're going to see more of. It's been there. The seeds have been sown for this. It's not like Matthews was the first. It's just Matthews is the highest profile athlete in the sport to do it.
And you gotta wonder if a guy like Trevor Zegras is the next guy to do it.
I would think
he still hasn't signed yet with Anaheim.
This is like the ticking time clock. I mean, we thought there was a few that might go to September, and well, he's the only one.
Two of them got close. Two of them got
real close. Look, the Rangers one with Lafreniere got very close. No matter
the interesting thing about the Lafreniere thing, and my apologies to cut you off there, but like we had both stated this, and I said it on the show, and I was told this. There was a 2-year deal in place for that money at the beginning of July.
Yeah. Yes. July 1st.
July 1st, that deal was given to him.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, what's going on? Do they not trust him? They want to move him? Are they looking to move him? what is going on with that situation? I understand the development. I understand he lost time, but the Rangers' game plan has changed, and the problem is they need to put the kid in a situation to succeed. It's a good deal. It's a nice bridge deal, but they got to put him on a power play. Kako demanded it after the end of the season. He's like, I got to be put in a better position. I understand sometimes, like you see in Dallas, Wyatt Johnson took the bull by the horns and earned his spot.
Right.
But I think if I'm there and I'm Peter Laviolette, look, I understand the kid line was one of the best lines. Well, if that's the case, you want to keep them together, they have to be your second line next year.
They have to be your second line. They have to get power play time together.
Right.
This is I think we've been saying this since basically they were even 2 years ago when they were briefly all put together, and it was like, well, wait a minute. It works.
It does work.
It's too obvious for it not to. And look, for those that want to get on Capo a little bit, and they want to get on Lafreniere a little bit, okay, there's some merits to it. We get it.
But the Rangers have not.
But they gotta be able to fall backwards a little bit.
That too. But the Rangers have not been all in and playing them either.
No.
Unlike the team you guys see behind me, who went all in.
They went in on Hughes, Hischier too. Remember, people forget
Pratt. They went all in on playing the young guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look at what they're going to probably do with Luke Hughes this year.
He's playing
as a great example. He's gonna play, and he's going to play way more minutes than Damon Severson, because let's face it, Luke Hughes, for what it's worth, and I know people got him with, his performance with USA Hockey. That wasn't his fault. These things happen. He's with a bunch of 18-year-old kids. What the heck do you expect? It's
right. It's fire sale hockey.
He's got a head on his shoulders, basically, Jim. It's the nicest way to put it. I like guys like Damon Severson and such.
Yep.
They have immense hockey talent. But the difference between guys like him and a guy who celebrated his birthday today, that was a really good Devil, and what he was early in his career and what he was late in his career, he's up there in those little rafter things.
Yes.
Is the difference as to why he's up there in those rafters. Because early in his career, one of the big knocks of Scott Niedermayer always was a 60-minute effort.
That changed.
It was something that was always never expressly said, but it was implied, and it was implied often by anyone and everyone you could ask.
Until Jacques Lemaire got a hold of him.
And that's the rest, as they say,
is history.
I mean, look, what happened his last full year in New Jersey was unfortunate. And people have to understand that there was just a litany of circumstances. Hey, I got on him, but we didn't know the whole story until after
it came out.
After the lockout. Remember, we lost a year. So
we didn't know.
Lost a year.
And then he went to Anaheim, and he went to go play with his brother.
And then I went to stalk him in Anaheim and scared the crap out of him. And, true story. Anybody that doesn't believe this.
It's true. Oh, it's true. I've heard it. But here's the thing, right? So you got Lafreniere. It's a nice deal for him. Bouchard, 2 years. Nice deal for him.
Excellent deal. Feel sorry for Edmonton in 2 years.
Because, I bet you he signs next year, his extension. Because
he almost has to.
Well, no, he has to, because I think this was the Oilers saying, hey, this is what we can give you now. Once the cap goes up, we're going to give you what you deserve.
Yeah.
On an 8-year deal.
No doubt about it.
Because he's only getting better.
I'm signed up for this one. I mean, look, I said this to people, and we'll take some heat for this from fantasy circles. I'll take him over Carlson. I'll take him over, pretty much almost every other defenseman that's out there from a fantasy standpoint, because that shot is dynamite.
Not only is the shot dynamite, you're on the best power play in the league. His assist numbers only go up. Who are you feeding on that power play? Like, he's and ever since Tyson Barrie left, he's been put in that situation to succeed. He's a better defenseman than Darnell Nurse. And you have Matthias Ekholm there as well. Bouchard, it's a great deal. It's a great number. The Oilers, like the Leafs, just have to get under the cap. They'll be fine. And they just got to figure out that goaltending mess over there. Brandon Hagel, 8 years, 6.5 million. Look,
Can be
great.
interesting.
Going to be great for the player. I will say this. Next year, if the cap does go up and Tampa has a chance to reload on that bottom six, great. They may take one more run at it. But I will still go to this. I love Miguel Shuryachev. He's a good defenseman. They still have yet to replace Ryan McDonough. And we're going to see no Killorn, no Palat, no Johnson, no Big Rig, none of all these guys that were there. Right. Don't forget, Steve Yzerman, yes, when they went to the Cup final in 2011, they were drafting all the next guys that were coming. Julien Brisebois has given away draft picks. I still don't agree with the Tanner Jeannot trade. I understand the players aren't going to help you now, but you need to find the next crop when the Stamkos is gone, when the Kucherovs go. Point will probably still be there. You got to keep yourself competitive, like the Penguins did when guys were just getting flipped on Crosby's wing. Oh, Getzel's just here. Who's this guy? Like they got to stop sending those first round draft picks out because they're going to need them eventually.
Yeah, they're going to all right. They've already overextended themselves essentially.
Right.
It's a big problem. I mean, look how they handle arguably what is in their development or cupboard over the next year or two is absolutely crucial to that team because it could be a very long. They're not going to have that bounce back. Let's put it this way: remember that little hiccup they had in the late 2000 teens, and then they just came right back. I mean, it lasted all of 1 year.
Yeah, but again, who was there? It was the triplets coming up. It was all these guys in the AHL that came up and restocked. They don't have the restocking right now, and that modern day dynasty is definitely at its end. They may have one more crack at it. Yeah, Vasilevsky.
Barely.
Yeah, barely. But again, let's see what happens. Look, they have time off. We're going to see what happens there with them. You know, Toronto, again, we know, Keefe, whatever. Like, look, I don't think there was a better option. I think this is a great move. It's job security, but it's also the Leafs like saying, hey, we don't want this storyline to be a storyline come the start of camp, at the end of the season, like all this stuff around Shell. Maybe we've learned a lesson with Kyle Dubas here. Now they've added some nice pieces to that bench. Like, let's see what happens there. It's going to be a fascinating season. I'm really interested to see if and when Trevor Zegras signs. If he doesn't, he's going to be holding out. We know that. So it's going to be very, very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's been said. He has made it clear that no deal.
No deal.
No camp.
No camp.
And we're
close.
I mean, we're a few weeks from camp, Jim.
We're getting close,
crazy,
buddy.
Right?
September 20th.
Let's put it this way. All right, for those not on the East Coast, it was in the mid 70s today. Okay? It is going to drop some places in New Jersey to around 50 tonight. We're not going to mention the part next week where it's 95 degrees. That's besides the point.
It's 90 every day next week.
Hey, that's blame the hurricane. Or what's
left.
All right,
I'll blame the hurricane. Okay, real quick, because we're short on time. We got to touch them all.
Yep.
Where do I have Toronto in my power rankings?
Boom.
If I did them right now, they're definitely in the top 10 preseason power rankings. I mean, I'd probably put them as the top team in the Atlantic right now if I had to choose where they fall in the top 10. It may be top 5 for me, I guess. I mean, I have to.
I'm going there. They are third. They're third in the East. They're 6th overall.
That's not bad. I think that's the fair ranking.
Because we don't really know what year 2 of their quote unquote goaltending plan.
Right.
Just yet. We don't know how healthy Samsonov is going to stay.
Right.
And is Wall going to be a Wall?
I mean, I think he
We
has the
think he's
potential
going
to
to be. We
He
think
has
he's
the
going to
very
be.
potential to be. He's going to be really good. And they got to put their trust in Joseph Wall. Samsonov, we'll see. Again, there's a
Look,
lot of
this is
question marks around the Maple Leafs. There's a lot of question marks around a lot of teams in the East.
we don't
We're
know.
going to see what happens. We don't know. Again, it's August 31st, September 1st tomorrow. Training camp September 20th. Rookie camps before that. Rookie tournaments, prospect tournaments. Hockey is literally around the corner, and the air today made you feel like hockey season starts tomorrow.
It really did.
But we're gonna be back again. Get you ready. Peruse these divisions. Peruse some other news. We're gonna get you ready. But thanks for always being with us. The Full Press Hockey Weekly Show. Myself, Jim Berenger, the voice of Full Press Hockey. Chris Wassel, Ian behind the scenes. Always get us at Full Press NHL on Twitter. Full Press Coverage. Full Press Hockey. All that on Facebook. FullPressHockey.com. YouTube. Twitch. iTunes. Spotify. Wherever you get your podcasts. Guys, enjoy Labor Day weekend. We'll talk to you again real soon.
Peace.